What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Yankees in 10, brought to you by Mike and V Sports Talk. Another absolute thriller last night. The Yankees come back again against the Nationals. 3 homers late to power them ahead after Cam Schiller gives up 2 homers in the first, but he has a great outing the rest of the way, holds them at 2 runs, and then hands it off to the bullpen. They hold the line, and then obviously the Yankees come back and win there in the 8th inning. Just another great win, and I think it exemplifies what this team can be. And we're going to get into it here on Yankees in 10, brought to you by Mike and V Sports Talk. Another great come-from-behind win there for the Yankees, 2 in a row now against the Nationals. Another huge win. You know, you have Cam Schiller giving up 2 homers in the first inning, and you think that's going to rattle him. You might be heading down that Detroit path again where he's going to get rocked in the game and have to leave early. But he steps up to the moment. He gives you 6 2/3, solid baseball. Yeah, walks a couple more people than you would like. But as far as the outing as a whole, gutty performance from Cam Schiller. That's the kind of stuff from an ace. That's the kind of stuff from a Cy Young that you expect, that you want to see. And he stepped up to the moment, and he kept the Yankees in that game and allowed them, you know, a dormant offense once again, but he allowed them to come back late in the game. And then you got Ryan McMahon. Unsung hero, randomly moments in this season where Ryan McMahon will step up, give you a go-ahead hit, or in this case, starts off the 8th inning with a home run there, gives the Yankees a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a jolt, and then Trent Grisham, man. In these last 2 weeks that he's been back, he has been a godsend for this team that was begging for some help. And here he is, Trent Grisham. Who would have thought he would be the savior? Gives the Yankees the lead with the 2-run homer. And then Paul Goldschmidt, who's had a rough go of it over this last month, but he steps up to the plate as well and hits another homer to give the Yankees a little bit of insurance. And that's the kind of stuff that you need from a championship team. You know, Ben Rice doesn't have to be the guy to do it all the time. Obviously, Judge isn't in the lineup, but he can't always do it. Bellinger, I mean, those are your 3 best players. So for 3 of your not best players to be the ones to step up into the moment and say, hey, don't worry, guys, we're picking you up, we're taking you to victory here. I mean, that's the kind of stuff, again, when we talk about it, championship teams. How many times do we talk about Kike Hernandez in the postseason for the Dodgers? Unsung heroes, people who aren't expected. That's what's so great about baseball, is that in this sport, you can have a guy on any given day who comes in and produces, whether it be a bullpen arm who holds a team down in a tough situation, whether it be a pinch hitter who comes into the game and, you know, gets a hit, steals a base, scores around there, or hits a home run in a big situation. Those are the players that win you games, that win you series, that win you World Series. It's not your Aaron Judges. It's not your Garrett Coles. It's not your Max Frieds. Those guys get you there, but those other players are what get you to the biggest moments, and they bring and come through for you. If you don't have guys, ancillary pieces, who are able to do those things, kiss your season goodbye. Kiss your season goodbye. And I think one of the reasons the Dodgers have been so successful and more successful than the rest of the league is because their ancillary pieces are so much better than everybody else's. And they're just throwing money at people, obviously. But the 8th, 9th, 10th guys on their roster are leagues above other people in the league. So I think the Yankees now have a lineup that can compete with that. And you know, over this last month, we were saying, you know, the team is in a really bad spot. They're losing to teams they should never be losing to. Then they go to Tampa Bay. Cam Schiller has a great performance in Game 1. They get rocked in Games 2 and Game 3. But then Game 4 really was a turning point. That comeback victory again, Ryan McMahon again in that game. And then now this Nationals series where if they can sweep this, that's 4 games in a row going into the All-Star break. Very, very, very good momentum. You get some rest, and then you got to come out of that break strong and prove that you are either A, the top team in the American League, or B, you know, a top 2 team. Because the Tampa Bay Rays are a great roster, but let's be honest, they don't have the names that you have. And I talked about this in the last episode. Name value means something. So go out there, prove who you are, prove your worth, prove that you are the best team in the American League. Because there's no reason that anybody should be messing with you. Nobody should be messing with you with the roster that you've got. I said this before. The most talented team the Yankees have had in the Aaron Judge era. I'll stand by that. I do believe that. Maybe 2019. But just as far as name value, as far as the guys that we got, as far as where they are in their career, I do believe that this is the most talented roster that they've had. It's crazy because it's mostly a run-it-back roster, but I do believe that. So, again, going forward for the Yankees, you know, win tonight, Will Warren, just have a good performance. Have a bounce-back game because the last one wasn't too great. And then the lineup, have a good game, you know, get 6, 7 hits. But in all seriousness, this performance today and obviously coming out of the All-Star break is going to be huge. It's going to decide what the fate of this team is. Are we going to the World Series? Are we going into the postseason strong? Or is it going to be another year where the June swoon kind of dictates how the team will perform in the postseason? I heard one of my friends talking about it yesterday. He says, listen, if you can't win in situations like this against bad teams like this, and you have long stretches where your team goes dormant, both in the bullpen, the starting pitching, the hitting, if all those things are failing at one time during one part of the season, they can do the exact same thing later in the season and into the postseason. So again, yeah, it happened, but you got to minimize that. You got to put that in the past. These next 3 months have to be really quality baseball and get you to a point where either you got the best record in the American League or you got a top 2 seed, something like that, where you put yourself in a good position, you got home field advantage, no places like Yankee Stadium. You go out there and do the job, get the job done, because nobody should be beating you. Nobody in the American League should have any chance to get out of the American League. You know, the Toronto Blue Jays last year were a good team, nowhere to be found, right? And the Yankees have to go out and they have to dominate this American League in the second half. So as we look ahead past the All-Star break, again, we talk about the moves that need to be made, potentially a catcher, right? Potentially bullpen arms. But I do think this team is in a good spot. I do believe that the future of this roster is strong. And I do believe that the guys who are coming back are going to provide something. But it's been huge to see that the people who are here right now are fighting back. They're fighting back against the notion that they don't have a team right now. And for Trent Grisham and Ryan McMahon and Goldschmidt, thank you. Thank you for doing something that I've been longing for as a Yankee fan, for the bottom of the lineup to fucking be real, to be something special. And yeah, maybe he's not going to hit 250 or 220, but he's going to have moments in the season where he's going to step up. You know, how often have we said that in these last 10 years, where bottom of the lineup guys are really stepping up, doing their job? The only one I can think of is Gio Urshela, and he ended up not being a bottom of the lineup guy. So the people who aren't name brands, they win you World Series. Those are the people who will elevate your team and bring you into the postseason. And then from there, those ancillary pieces, those are the ones that'll win you championships, like a Kike Hernandez and like others. So the Yankees have a good, talented roster right now, and they've had a good 3-game stretch here. And I hope they win tonight, and I hope they go into the All-Star break strong. And this team can do something special. They just have to keep playing good baseball. This has been Yankees in 10, brought to you by Mike and B Sports Talk.